Sorry, I'm yawning. I've been sitting still too long. Okay, well, while y'all are sitting there, uh, this is part two of your lab. And I wrote it in the chat, but in case you don't have all your stuff together, you should have little cups with Skittles. I had an extra cup for some reason, but pick your four favorite Skittles and just dump as many as you have of them into the container. I've only got one lane green one, so I'm gonna.
Hey Cynthia, you know how I didn't have like the stuff to make the buffer? Like I didn't have Skittles either. So I think
What?
that bag, yeah, I think that
You ain't
bag is
got no
just
Skittles?
no,
Girl.
but I've got Starburst in the back. Do you
You
think
didn't get
like
any?
no?
It has to be something that has a hard outer candy coating that you get the color, the FD&C color off of. It'll
Okay.
work with M&Ms. It works with Skittles. It works with tamales.
Holly.
Like the little red tamales.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on like gummy candies. It has to be something that has like an it'll even
Outer
work
color.
like an outer coating.
I've
Uh,
I've I've done the Skittles before, so it's okay. But that's why I didn't have the stuff last week. I didn't have that bag, so
Oh,
I'll be good.
you missed a bag, Chris. You only had three bags, Crystal.
I did not have the Skittles bag.
Oh,
okay, so the Skittles
we're
bag should
sorry.
be in the same container with all of the stuff for making your gels.
Yeah, but I didn't have, remember, I didn't have the buffer. I didn't, that's why I had to make my own last week. Remember, I just used
Oh
mine for
my
my
God, I'm
classroom.
so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
Well, you got some food dyes?
I may. I'll go. Yeah, I can do those.
No, guys, it'll work. All right, so sorry about that. But if you'll put your Skittles into the little cups, so all of this is in the teacher manual. I'm just doing the short, sweet version of it. I also feel like the manuals that they give you are a little difficult to read. So if you would like a easier kid friendly version, let me know. So let's do this, shall we? All right. So you should have had a tiny little Eppendorfer that looks like this. It has liquid in it. Should have been in the bag with your Skittles. It says I've originally recently gotten old and my eyeballs don't want to work. It says extraction buffer. So if you have a DPTP, disposable pipette, you should have a graduated mark in the middle because this holds 1 mil. So you're going to do half a DPTP of this into each one of the containers. And before you do that, just understand that like your goal is to take the candy coating off. So when your Skittles turn white and you just kind of like swirl them around, when your Skittles get the color off of them, take the Skittles out because the other part you don't want. So like if the white part of the Skittle starts coming off, you don't really want that part. So you're going to take zero point 0.5 of the extraction buffer that's in the little miniature Eppendorfer tube and put it into each one of your four cups with your Skittles. And you can honestly do this on the same day that you make your gel if you have enough time with your kids, because this stuff will sit for a while. So if you will go ahead and put zero point 0.5 mils of buffer into your containers, Skittles. And your goal is to remove the color off of your Skittles. And you don't need a whole lot because you're only going to end up using 10 microliters of that solution anyways. The more Skittles you can put in is honestly the better. So that way you get a deeper color. So just give them a little swirl and get the dye off your Skittles.
Can we use something else if we don't have the extraction buffer?
But you don't have the little Eppendorfer tube? Who was it that said that?
Bernice.
Hi. You didn't get a tiny
Um,
little Eppendorfer tube in your Skittles bag that had liquid in it?
no.
Um, honestly,
No.
I can tell you that as long as you have a little bit of water on it, because there's sucrose in the Skittle, the dye will come off.
Okay.
But you didn't hear that from me.
Okay.
Just a little bit of water. Just a little
All right.
bit. Yeah. And again, you just need about 10 microliters of a solution, which is really not much at all. So as soon as you get some of that liquid to get the dye off of your Skittles, you can go ahead and take your Skittles out of that. I normally let my kids do it with tweezers that they don't get candy all over themselves. That they keep as much solution as possible. I don't have any tweezers with me, so I'm going to use my finger. Honestly, you could probably leave your candy in some of your liquid. All right, so everybody got some dye off of their Skittles. How much extraction solution do we add to your Skittles? You should have enough to put about 0.5 mil into each one of your into each one of your cups, your Skittles. Or you can just like eyeball it and do about a quarter, a quarter, a quarter. But these hold a mil, so you should have had enough to get like a little bit into each one of them. And again, you don't need much of your dye off of your Skittles. So not only are you going to be running the candy coating off of your Skittles, you also, in your Skittle bag, had really, really tiny Eppendorfers of the FD and C dye. I know she gave you yellow 6, a yellow 5, a red 40, and a blue 1. But they're 4 little tiny Eppendorfers. If it doesn't look like you have solution in them, if you'll just hold it between your thumb and forefinger and give it a flick, liquid will go down into the tip of the Eppendorfer like that. A little flick with your hand. If you have centrifuges, of course, you can centrifuge these down into the bottom. Yeah, Carla, give it a little flick. Doesn't hurt your fingernails. I'm a wussy. Tap them. You can tap them on your lab tables, but if you have centrifuges, that's just another really cool piece of equipment to use with your kids. All right, so you should have your 4 FD and C dyes. Again, your blue, your yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40. A little pre-activity, if any of you teach chemistry or if you want to talk about molecular structures, they're in your notebook, but you could make the kids count the number of atoms in the molecule. And it's a lot of work, but if you read the chemical formula, it'll teach it to you. But this is a breakdown of your blue 1, your red 40, your yellow 5, and your yellow 6. So the kids have no idea about molecular weights and like how things are going to move through the gel electrophoresis. Like you're just doing this as like an intro. This could be like I wonder what that will do in the gel with these big and small molecules. There's also a whole website that covers all of the different color combinations because there's also like the neon colors that you can buy at the grocery store. Not only like the FD&C dyes, they can be a little expensive when you buy them from like Biorad. You can just use the food dyes at the grocery store. If you dissolve a drop in a water sucrose solution so that it'll wait in the gels or in the wells. That's another easy thing you can do if you don't want to have to pay for FD&C dyes. So you should have your gel from last week that you had your comb in. Hopefully you did not take your comb out, because if you do, your wells can close up. You should have had 2 paper clips. And what you're going to do is you're going to unfold your paper clips so that it looks like an L. Back of these. You're going to unfold it so it makes an L. You're going to do that to both of them. These are going to become your electrodes if you don't have gel electrophoresis chambers. If you do, I highly recommend using those because using the equipment is way cooler. But you're going to do this to both of your paper clips. The smaller ones are the exact size for your gel box. Everybody good on your paper clip? You have a red and a black wire. For those of you that don't have your electrical engineering degree, you've got a red end and a black end. And again, for those people with no electricals, your red is your positive and the black wire is your negative. You have 5 batteries that you're going to, these are 9-volt batteries, and you're going to assemble them in this kind of pyramid contraption. So you're going to take the positive end of the battery, hook it into the negative end of the battery, and you're going to create a tower. Looks like this, which is then going to leave the positive end of one battery exposed and the negative end of the other battery exposed. So build your little battery tower. Quiet today. They're bad in your town too. They're good on your battery towers. I'm going to assume that y'all are. So you're going to take, and you're not going to do this right now. We're going to wait until we load our wells. But what's going to happen is you're going to take the 2 paper clips. One's going to go on the top end. The other one is going to go on the bottom end, just like less than a centimeter away from the edges. This gets pushed down into the bottom of your wells, and then you hook your electrodes up to it. We're going to wait to hook our electrodes up to that and the batteries, but I wanted to get you set up for that. All right. Here's where the fun part comes. You need to get your micro pipette, and you have a 2 to 20, and you're going to set it to 10. So go ahead and set your dial. 10. So it should say 100. So your comb has 8 openings in it. You're going to pull your comb out, and you're going to pour a layer of buffer over your wells so that you have a thin layer of liquid. So some teachers will say that they will dry fill. Dry fill means that they're pumping solution into these wells with no liquid sitting on top of it. I don't personally recommend that. So I do what's called a wet fill. So you're going to pour a little bit of our leftover buffer from last week onto the surface. You have to have a little bit of liquid in order for the electrical current to move across the agarose. Now, in the book, it tells you what colors to do and in what order. Honestly, it doesn't matter as long as you tell your kids to make a chart. So you're going to put your 4 FD&C dyes in the first 4 wells, and then you're going to put your Skittle colors in the next 4 wells. Your book goes, let's see, it's on page 28. It tells you to do like blue 1, yellow 5, yellow 6, red 40, and then to just do your candies. I always make my kids write it out on a piece of paper, like what numbers or like what did they put in each well. So you're going to get a new tip for each color, and you're going to put 10 microliters of your 4 FD&C dyes in the first 4, and then your 4 Skittle colors in the last 4. So I'm going to give y'all time to do your micropipetting. And if you have questions, unmute yourself. Remember, if you're not ready to micropipette, close your eyes and feel where that first stop is versus the second stop. Because it's, put your, close it down to 1, put your tip into your solution, release your thumb slowly. Then you're going to take that liquid and put it into the well. Oh, Lord, I can't see. It's okay. If you can't see, like if your lab table's dark, take a white piece of paper, put it underneath it. Oh, that didn't. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Because the FD&C dyes are weighted, once you press down to that second stop, bring your thumb up, then release your stopper. If you release your stopper while your pipette is still in the well, it will suck your color back up. And then get rid of your tip and do it with the next color. So, see mine, my first one is blue. Next color is yellow number 5.
Cynthia,
Yes, ma'am.
have you ever experienced your gel medium freezing?
No, I have not.
Okay, so we put
That
it
might
in
have been that your refrigerator was a little chilly.
yeah, we put it in the one outside. Can you mute that?
So, how
Okay.
does it feel right
So
now?
we're waiting for it to unthaw, but I just wanted to see. It'll be interesting to see if it still works. I just wanted to know if you had.
Don't put it in the microwave because
Okay,
if you
I was
microwave
wondering.
it, it will re-liquefy. You can wait until it thaws and do this
Okay.
later. Yeah, just wait. But
All
yeah, your
right.
fridge must be a little cold.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for
No
interrupting.
worries. Oh, you're fine. Please interrupt. So you're just slowly micropetting your colors. I put blue in my first one. Now, if any of y'all do forensic science, oh yes, ma'am, Wendy.
I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, forensic science teachers, you can mix up your FD&C dyes and they can be blood samples. And you can mix the mother and the father and the child. And you can do it with just basic food dyes too. So like you can run multiple gels. Like the first gel is this Jim learning just like what does red look like when it goes through a gel? What does blue look like? What does green look like? What does yellow look like? And then give them a mystery sample of DNA and make the kids run it, and they have to tell you what components are in that. And then you can give them like 5 or 6 different crazy samples, and the kids can go, oh, well, this is clearly victim number 1's blood. No, this is family member number 2's blood. You can also, if you teach biology and you do macromolecules, um, of course, gel electrophoresis is run on DNA, RNA, and proteins because it's called Eastern, Western, and Northern blots. So you can also do it like, oh, this protein contains this amino acid, blah, 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 blah. They don't got to know that it's food coloring. Make them use their imaginations. Okay, so I did yellow number 5, yellow number 6. This does work with all sorts of types of candies as long as there's a hard outer shell. I don't recommend M&Ms just because they melt pretty quickly with the chocolate, but like Mike and Ike's works, Skittles works great. I don't recommend using sour Skittles. You can use any color rainbow bag of Skittles. So like if you don't have the red bag, the kids can bring in any color, but I don't recommend the sours. The extra coating of that soury garbage on the outside will mess up your stuff. Don't have a lot of red. My red's probably not gonna. Whoever loaded my dyes, I didn't get a lot of red. Okay, so I've got my first 4 done. So I've got my blue, yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40. Also, fun stuff you can do with your kids prior to let them read articles about how red dye number 40 has been banned in California and some of the side effects of kids that are ADHD kids, or excuse me, say ADHD no more. How they're impacted, and then that Aldi grocery stores don't sell anything red 40 dye in it because they are a California based company. Lots of real world application. Okay, so the next one, you're just putting in 10 microliters of each one of your Skittle colors. If you make big wells and if you're worried about your kids, you can increase it to 20 microliters. This lab just calls for 10, but if your wells are really deep, like ours really are, you could have upped it to 20 microliters so that your kids, if they screw up, they at least have a little bit to play with. This is why it's a good idea to practice micropipetting with your kids prior to. Um, there's a company that sells like the plastic wells, and you can practice your micropipetting into that in just like a plastic containers until your kids get comfortable with it.
Cynthia,
Yes, ma'am.
could you move your gel up in the camera so I can see?
Yes, I will. Sorry. I
Thank you.
I was getting it a little close to me. Can you see it now?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry. I was getting in the zone of micropipetting. So we'll wait until everybody has their micropipetting done. So your first 4 wells are your FD&C dyes. The last 4 are your Skittle colors. And again, you can make sure that your kids like write it out on a piece of paper because sometimes once they start to bleed, depending upon how well they micropipetted, or if they accidentally punctured the well while they were doing this, they might lose one of their colors. But that's also a really good opportunity for kids to talk about failures that happen in the lab and like what do you need to do differently? Do you need to redo this? When I taught biotech, if a kid screwed up, that's okay. You're gonna do it again. and they would come in before school or stay through lunch, redo their labs. Because it's no fun when you're the kid's lab that didn't work. Make them redo it. Oh, Kennedy says that when you're done, please take a picture. I would personally take a pre-picture. If you do lab notebooks with your student, this would be a perfect part of your procedures. Like take a picture of what your gel looked like before. I'm gonna take a picture with my phone. It's just cool to have a before and after. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you've gotten your micropipetting done. Oh, good. Yay, I got 2. I'll wait. I know that the other one's like yours is frozen, so you're probably gonna do yours later. And that's okay. So those of you that are doing it, are we ready to move on to the next part? Yes. Those of you who have okay, cool. All right, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your red and your black wires. And as I said before, your red is positive, your black is negative. You're going to put the red hook on the positive part of your battery. If you're not sure, there's a little plus symbol on the side. You're going to put the black part, and these wires, they do pull apart. They're a little small, but they will pull apart. You're going to put your red on your positive. You're going to put your black on your negative. Okay? Should look like this. Your red on your positive side of your batteries and your black on your negative side of the batteries. I'm assuming we all know, but you know what assuming does. DNA is a negatively charged particle. So we want to make sure that we put the black parts or the negative charged paperclip on the side of the wells that we filled. If you put the red one there, the DNA is going to move to the red wire. We want it to move towards the red wire this way. So you're going to take your paper clips and you're going to slowly push them into your gel. They only need to go about halfway in. So you're going to push your paper clip above the wells that you poured. Give it a little muscle. Push it down into your jello. There we go. So that goes on one end. The other paper clip goes on the other end. And push it down into your jello.
Can you show me your wire connection once again, please?
Yes, ma'am. So you hook your black part of your wire to the negative side of your battery. On the side of your battery, you have a plus symbol and a negative symbol. Sorry, this is hard to like look at your television screen and like not mess up. So on the negative side, you put the black wire. On the positive side, you put the red wire. Good? Okay. So you're going to take your opposite wires. You're going to put the black on the paper clip that's closest to your wells. You're going to put the red paper clip on the opposite end, farthest away from your wells. I like to put mine close to the bottom, like the plastic container, because if you put it closer to the top, it gets a little heavy and wants to fall over and it might rip your wells. So I put it close to the bottom and your gel starts working. You can set a timer. This shouldn't take more than 20 minutes, if that. I normally tell my kids to set a 5-minute timer because, like, if they're cleaning and stuff, they need to be careful that they're paying attention. Otherwise, if you're doing this in a gel box, your DNA could run off the edge. So I tell them to set a 5-minute timer. After 5 minutes, check it. 5 more minutes, check it. Make sure it doesn't run off the end. The thing about the paper clips on this one, if your kids leave it in there for a really, really, really long time, oxidation will occur and your paper clips will rust. And your kids will see like a brownish color in their little plastic box, and they could burn their box or burn their gel. So generally after about 10 to 15 minutes, get them to unplug their stuff because it'll burn the gel and then they don't have really pretty colors. Sometimes you will see bubbles, like if you're using a gel electrophoresis chamber, the bubbles indicate that it's working. This could also be a time where kids are counting their molecules. This could be a time where kids are sketching a picture of what it looks like. A lot of different things can happen. Kids can clean up as long as someone's watching it every 5 minutes. Okay, mine's bubbling. Are y'all bubbling? Okay. If it's making little farty bubbles, then it's definitely working and you've connected it correctly. Just make sure that your kids aren't touching it. It's a small shock, but it would still technically be a shock. Maybe tell the kids you don't like to touch it, see what happens. Do y'all have any questions about this one? Anyone doing this lab with your kids? This is normally my lively bunch. Still left. Snack clearly did not. That did not make Wendy smile. Nope. There she heard me. Did your snack not work?
Huh?
I saw you eating a snack beforehand.
Yeah, it's working. I wasn't able to do last week
Oh, okay.
because
So
we had senior night for softball.
okay.
My daughter plays softball. She's not a senior, but she's on the team, so I had to be down there.
That's
And I
okay.
didn't make my gel, so I'm just watching.
Shame on you. It's okay.
I know. Don't
You have
worry.
to later and take a picture so that, Megan's not mad.
I will. And no, I still haven't read the book either.
It's okay. A lot
I
going
don't
on.
have time to read right now.
I hear you.
But hey, do you teach? I know you teach middle school, but
Yes.
do you teach the physical science part of middle school?
I don't. I teach the earth science, but I can help you if you need help. What you doing?
We're doing chemical reactions, balancing chemical equations.
Yeah.
How is the easiest way to do it? Because I've talked about it for over a week and a half, and I still have some kids going, I don't know what to do.
Do you ever start it like a math problem?
Yeah.
Like 2 plus 2 is 4, and
Uh-huh.
what's on this side got to equal this side.
Yep.
Let me look through my repertoire of stuff, and I will send you what I got. Do you start off with water?
I
Because a
mean, I
lot
started
of
off
kids are
with,
real comfortable with H2O2.
well, we started off with like the types of chemical reactions first. So and they got it. But when we started putting numbers, some of them go, wait a minute, do we multiply here or do we add here?
Girl, this is an excellent opportunity to teach PEMDAS, order of operations.
Yeah.
Like you may have to, you could do some co-curricular stuff, get a 6th grade math teacher to come in and reteach PEMDAS.
I teach ninth grade physical
Oh,
science.
sorry, my bad. Um,
That's what I was just thinking. 'Cause I was like, eighth grade, they don't have to know the types and they don't have to balance.
sorry.
Um, but so you're teaching the high school physical science to eighth graders. No, to ninth graders. To ninth graders. Okay. Okay.
And they haven't
Um,
had PEMDAS.
I have some stuff too I could share. That's actually my favorite thing to teach. So I can Oh, thank you, Jesus. Please help.
Yeah. I can send you some stuff. If you your
Diana
email.
said try FET simulations.
The FET is a beautiful one. And then there's a Doodle Notes out there by Sunrise Science.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Are you familiar with that lady?
Yeah.
Sunrise Science. She has a Doodle Notes on it that helps them to visualize. Because the hard part with ninth grade is that those transition metals, if they're ever in there, that's gonna throw them off.
We're not even putting transition metals in it.
It's just the basics. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah.
You
Um,
should try FET simulation and put the tool so they can see the balancing of the atoms on each side. It helps a
it
lot.
has it has a
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm actually looking to see if there's something like that on Gizmos because that's what our county has, like readily available to everybody.
So they were cool with like understanding that combustion is gonna have water. They were
Yep.
oh, so they got the hard part. This is the fun part.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
So
send you some
So
stuff
hold
too, if
on.
that's okay. If you send me your email, I'll pull up
All
some
right.
stuff really
So
quick.
can you see this right here?
Yes.
Okay. So on their task cards, I'm like, all right, so they have to say how many atoms of each element.
Okay.
They were having a hard time going, okay, so the 2 times, wait a minute, is it 3 times everything and then we multiply it by the 2 at the end? I'm going, no, you do always do your
Mm,
parentheses first, and then your coefficient goes with all those numbers.
you're
hmm
having to reteach order of operation.
That's what it is.
They don't know basic math.
And
Mm-hmm.
I am about to lose my mind.
I'm so sorry.
May have
I've
like
got over half of my class totally gets it.
those kids that don't get it, like I hate to say it, you may have to give them some math worksheets.
Oh.
It's my- I know Gizmos has some stuff on it too. Sorry about that. All right. Have y'all got movement? Because I got movement. Almost every one of mine is out of the well and migrating also. I know it's hard to tell. I should have put it on a piece of paper, but my paper clip on the positive side is already starting to kind of brown. And
Mm-hmm.
this is and again, it's because paper clips are not perfect. They're gonna start oxidizing, which means we're gonna have rust. You can talk about chemical reactions here. And this is why you need to check it about every 5 minutes. Otherwise, it will scorch. And then you also want to make sure that your colors don't get too close to that. Otherwise, your kids aren't going to like really see fun color separation. There we go. Pretty colors. Yeah, you just got some kids that don't know math, Wendy. I'm sorry. That means they were struggling in 6th grade.
Boo Boo, they struggle 6th, 7th, and 8th.
That means that they probably were the kids that got passed on.
Uh-huh.
How many IEPs and 504s you got?
I got four IEP, no, 4 504s. And they're my 12th graders. I have no IEP 504s on my 9th graders.
Yeah, they're just not great at math.
Mm.
So honestly, this is it on this lab as long as like it keeps running, which we're gonna let it keep running so that you can see the differences between the food dye molecules. So just to go back to like the math stuff that I did earlier. So like when you're talking to this with your kids, like molecular size has a lot to do with how it moves through the gel. So it makes perfect sense why the blue dye that's large size is still almost right next to the well. And then it explains why the other ones are moving like they are. If you had had a green Skittle, that would have worked really good because that'll separate into the blue and the yellow. I didn't have green, but my purple should split into blue and red. Also a fun art lesson if your kids remember primary colors of pigment, not light. Y'all have any other questions about this one? Or does anybody have other questions for the group? Like maybe you need help with something? Like Wendy needed help. Some people asked her. Does somebody else need help with something?
Cynthia, did you ever? I know you sent me something about the Gila project, and my kids are working, get
Yes.
ready to start on it.
I
Um,
sent you the Google folder. I had a bunch of stuff in it.
it was just a project, but I thought you said you did some kind of project box or something.
Oh, the breakout box? It's
Yeah,
in
the
the
brick.
same Google form. Or it's in the same Google Drive that has everything in it. That one would honestly take like a conversation to explain like what locks went with which clues and where we put them in our library, like how we set them up. Like one of the ones was like a microscope slide, and you had to read the microscope slide, and it referred to a page number in the book. And then that page number in the book was like, and it had like information which was like answer to a code. Like the kids highlighted the page with like a UV light. We did and then like one of the really cool ones was they did piece of paper, and there were amber colored bottles, so they didn't know what colors were inside the amber bottle, but they had to put them in a certain order, so the bottles were numbered. And when they did the numbers, it created a color sequence. So one of our locks was like a color coded lock, like you had to do pink, blue, red, yellow, green. And if you got that order, then the lock would open. Um, that one would take a phone conversation.
That's okay then.
But I will be happy to talk through it with you. It was fun. The kids enjoyed it. But I did that with my advanced biotech class, and they were the ones that designed the boxes and designed the locks and did the whole thing. It was like an end of year project.
Okay. Okay. But thank you. I do appreciate it.
Oh, no, you're welcome. On the Gila thing, I made a Google slide with like vocabulary through each one of the chapters. And then like the last thing was that the kids picked an experiment that specifically used Gila cells, and they either did a presentation or a Canva infograph. And then they explained all of that information to the class, like they did public speaking skills.
Did
Oh,
you
thank
put that information into did you share it with us? Because I never received
Anybody
it.
who asked or anybody who emailed me, I sent them my Google Drive that has all of that in it, but I can send it to you if you'll put your email address in the
I
chat.
will.
Yeah, as I read the book, like I would stop kids and go, okay, like, do you even know what this word means? And a lot of them didn't. And I'm like, so what does that tell you about your reading? Like, if you don't understand the words that you're reading, are you really comprehending? Like, you should highlight words that you don't know and look them up. I'm like, you have a computer. So then I just made a Google folder of words that they may not know. Like some kids not gonna know about like some boys not gonna understand HPV or a cervix or ovaries or fallopian tubes, like where her cancer was located. I mean, the girls did, but the guys didn't. So, okay, I'm writing down everybody's email. And then just like, those kids, most of those kids get the HPV vaccine, and a lot of kids got the COVID vaccine. A lot of kids get flu vaccines, and all of those are because of her cells. Um, Certain cancer treatments. Her cells have been in the International Space Station.
Thank you for that knowledge, Cynthia. I didn't even know all of that.
Girl, there's a ton. I have a whole page. Got a whole page. She
Wow.
does so much. Um, Here. I don't know how do you share a screen? Oh, here we go. Share. Okay. Y'all see that? I don't know what you can or can't.
Yes.
Okay, so this is my project page. So, like, all of this right here are all of the topics that my kids have the ability to cover that have something to do with her cells. So, like, her cells were used in identifying the BRCA gene, HPV vaccine. Her cells were used to identify that humans have 46 chromosomes and the length of all of them. Zero gravity, that was when her cells went to space. The polio vaccine was used for her cells. Leukemia, AIDS, gene therapy. The first cloned human cells used those. Like, all of those are because of her cells. Like, if her cells didn't exist, we wouldn't have any of this. It's pretty awesome. Like, MMR vaccine.
Wow.
Yeah, like, and all of this is like, well, I won't say all this. Some of this is my own research, but a good chunk of this, more than I would say about 75% of these are covered in the like last two chapters of the book. Like it just brings it home to like current knowledge on her. So like most of the book is like her past and like the discovery of her cells and then like her family finding out everything. And then the last chapters are really about like how her cells have contributed to like all of our knowledge on science. So 75% of these are in the book. And then because of course there's new information, I added in the most current stuff that's been done with her cells that were not in the book because it happened after the book was written. But yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I'm kind of a yeah, stuff's just really cool.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mhm.
Kind of like one of those things that's like, I'm sure y'all have like those weird things that like you can talk about way too much. What are those things that like if you could do a TED talk on something, what would you do a TED talk on? Let's ask that question while our gels are running. Think about what do you know an absurd amount about that you don't need to do research on that you could probably do at least a 30-minute TED talk on right now.
Crime scene investigation and all that.
Talk about blood splatter all day long, can't you?
Yes, I can.
So
And
fun.
we're doing fingerprints we're in fingerprints now and figuring out minutia points and all that other.
There's a
And
lady on TikTok. Do you teach how to identify fingertips with the gas?
no, I don't do that.
Okay, if you're on TikTok, there's a lady, if you look up gas fingerprints with forensic science, she's really Southern, but she did a whole TikTok on it. It was so cool. I don't teach forensics, otherwise I would do something like that, but it's real cool. Okay, Crystal, what would you do a TED Talk on right now? And it doesn't even have to be your curriculum based. Like maybe you know a lot about cats,
Public health.
such as.
I'm doing a AP Weekly Service program right now, and we've done all kinds of chronic diseases, infectious diseases, vaccines. So just everything about public health. So
That's neat.
All right, Diana, do a TED Talk on.
I'm still thinking.
Okay. Tony, TED Talk on. And again, it doesn't have to be school related. You can think outside the box.
I probably would do cooking,
Oh, ooh, what? What are we cooking?
whatever.
Okay.
Probably gardening. I'm getting into, I know it's late in the season for that, but I've started a fallish garden. So,
Awesome.
What's in a fall garden? I have a black thumb. Like I killed
so
Yeah, I
we,
kill everything too.
yeah, me and my kids, we planted some radishes, turnips, carrots, broccoli, stuff like that. Um, so
There's
the
so much
rest,
genetics with that too, because broccoli's from a mustard seed plant. Okay, Miss Ford, how do you pronounce your first name?
It's to Petrus.
Tris. Okay, I didn't want to murder that. I was like,
It's okay.
okay, what would you do a TED Talk on?
Well, not to copy anyone else, but I am into gardening also, but I don't do like plants like to eat, but I do just for coloration and foliage and etc. So I try to get perennials a lot. Annuals are too expensive. So and that's something we talked about in class. And the kids was like, perennials. I was like, yes, they come back many years.
I tell my kids about that too, because I'm like, why waste your money on landscaping with annuals when you're going to plant them every year when you can plant perennials and save money? So check those tags at Home Depot and Lowe's.
I killed a peace lily, so I'm not even
Those
going.
are hard to kill.
I killed one. So I know nothing about planting a garden or anything like that.
All right, Miss Smith, what would you do a TED Talk on?
At first, I was thinking school, and I would do one on genetic disorders and sickle cell because my son has it.
Oh,
Um, I would also probably do one on Caribbean cooking too, because my parents are from Trinidad, and I just love the foods. And not a lot of people get to experience it. They more, when they think of Caribbean culture, they think of Jamaican foods, but Trinidad is a infusion of Indian, Asian, just a whole bunch of different cultures coming together. So I probably do that.
you're going to bring us some samples and bacon? As I love Indian food. Let's go.
Okay, we'll see.
Yay. All right, Carla, Wayne, what would y'all do TED Talks on?
I would do mine on aviation.
Oh, wait,
I'm
birds or
a
planes?
pilot, and that's one of my many passions. So that'll be what it'll be on aviation and the science behind aviation, the history of aviation, and especially to the Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Small sidebar. There's just like the whole stuff about what happened in Tuskegee, Alabama, with all of the testing that went on.
oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It would. My wife is Miss Lomas is a two-time graduate. And that's where we met at Tuskegee. So yes, ma'am. We lived there for a minute and all that kind of stuff. But I always, yeah, it's a whole bunch of history there. So. definitely.
Wayne, my little brother goes there now. He's a
Whoop,
sophomore.
Well, our niece is down there, our goddaughters are down there, so he's like, yes. So yes.
Wow.
I didn't graduate from there. It was hard. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I left. But that's just the truth. I tell the truth. It was hard. So, but it was
Yeah.
great experience. I got to meet my old lady there. So,
Oh.
All right, she just rolled her eyes. That was the wrong thing to say,
Yes.
Dwayne.
she older than me by
Read
6 months,
the room.
by a month.
Read the room.
You're right.
Carly, you can hit him and I won't look.
His mom is here, so I'm gonna leave him alone.
Oh,
That's
I'm
mama's
sorry, Mom.
baby. I would do a TED talk on like how to find your peace, how to ignore things because we take things personally. That is something I have been working on for some time, and I feel really comfortable and feel like I figured it out.
I love this. So great. Small sidebar on TED Talks. If you want to see what your kids were passionate about on what you learned this year, and if you don't have a high stakes test, make your kids do a TED Talk about what they learned in your class as an end of year project, and then make them speak in your libraries. Our librarian actually bought like a red little circular carpet because that's what they have at TED Talks. And let it be open ended. It can be anything that they learn in your class, like anything open ended. It might be the fact that like my teacher speaks in different languages to make us pay attention, or speaks with different accents, or this is my teacher's catchphrases. Like, let it be open ended. Anything that you learned in this class. Or if you want to connect it to curriculum, by all means do curriculum. All right. I don't know about y'all, but my gels are about halfway through. Honestly, with this one, because my positive end is really burning it up, as you can tell, I would probably kill it here just so that the kids can get a good picture. And again, just letting your kids know that, like, don't touch those things. They will electrocute you. It's minimal, but they will. And then, of course, when you're done, take a picture, send it to Megan. And again, if you're doing like a real gel electrophoresis, you could make a ladder for your kids, which a ladder would contain all of the dyes in it to begin with, so that they see all of the bands in one row. If you decide that you want to like give random samples, or you could make the kids create a ladder to begin with and then give them all random samples, and then they compare that. And the real chambers, they have, when you create your gels, they have, oh, good Lord, they have a ruler on the side of them. I can't talk today. So then they can like measure where the bands are. So yeah, there you go. And that is gel electrophoresis on the cheap in a plastic container with some batteries and some paper clips.